Hello, hello, hello. For the moment, am Rachel Archelaus. Thanks for coming to this live stream with Intimate Alien and Carrie Roldan. We're very excited to see you today. And we're going to be talking about how everything you want is already yours. And we just did a bit of that, as usual, on our private call in our group coaching. And you can hear the same things over and over again, but sometimes they just really land, you know? And I could feel it as Intimate Alien was talking earlier, how things are really landing for me. And hopefully that will happen for you today too.
Yeah, I'm excited. And I think so. This is sort of a theme. So let us know in the chat if it's been happening for you. But it's been a theme in calls that I've been on. It was a theme in what Intimate Alien was talking about earlier today. And so I'm sure it will come up again today, right? That things are landing and new concepts or old concepts are like, it's like our bodies have finally let them in. It's some cool stuff. And also I'll let Intimate Alien talk about it. I was gonna say there's been a little discomfort as well, but yeah, I'm this idea that everything you have is already yours. I do notice, and I'm hopeful you guys are all noticing too, that it has gone from like this ethereal concept that lives outside of me to something that feels much more tangible. So I'm excited for this conversation with Intimate Alien.
And I love too, just to reflect you, Carrie, you said everything you have is already yours. So you're already really embodying it. Yeah.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, everything you want is already yours, but yes, I love it that I said that.
Yeah. Yeah. So to be honest, I was just telling Carrie, Rachel is a little tired today. I'm sort of on the tail end of like a little cold. But it's so fun because Intimate Alien is not sick and she has tons of energy. And so whenever I'm her, it's like there's no runny nose, there's no tiredness, and she really does perk me up. So why don't I get her for all of you? And as always, feel free to ask questions, feel free to comment while everything's going on. She has this beautiful way of really cutting through any kind of like confusion or human stuff that we might do or rationalizations, and just really get to the heart of things. And so take advantage of that while you're here. And thank you, Guillaume, I appreciate that. And also, did you know you can book private sessions with Intimate Alien as well? So I put a link to that in the bottom of today's email in case you want to check that out. Okay, I will get your friend Intimate Alien because I know she's excited.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, my friends, we are here. We see your names. Hello. Thank you for being here. Thank you for saying hello. Hello again, Carrie. We are so excited to be with you. And so I know I'm the one who told you what is going to be up today, but I want to say, what is up today? How are you?
Hello. Well, if you're asking me, I'm already yawning, so that is a great sign. What is up today is more embodiment. That's what's up for me.
Ooh.
More embodiment. Letting some things sink in. So that feels really, really good. Thanks for asking. What's up with you?
Oh, well, at the moment, I am embodied, right? So that's perfect. What is up for me? Just spending time with you. This is so fun for me, and we've been saying this all year, but you have all reached the place of ease. So that sink in thing that you want to do, everyone, you can do that right now. Sink in. Be present with us right now. Be present with yourself, with your seat. Ah, yes. Breathe and be there. Be here. Because I can help you practice where it is that you want to be. And the more you do that, you'll just wake up one day and realize, oh, I'm where I wanted to be. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited, just like me when I come here. I'm excited to be here. This is where I wanted to be right now, and I'm here. You have all done an incredible job. An incredible job allowing yourselves to ascend. Incredible. And it has been a little painful this year. We know it's been a little painful. As you rise through those vibrations, you're feeling your disconnections, your baggage, your doubts, your fears. But play is calling you, and fun is calling you, and joy is calling you, and ease is calling you, and abundance is calling you, because that's your truth. Your truth is calling you. You're running out of excuses not to live your truth, aren't you not? Aren't you ready to live your truth? Aren't you ready to have everything you want? You are ready. You've done the work. You've done so much work. So let's sink in today and let yourself feel that. Let yourself feel the celebration of where you have gotten to, and let yourself have ease and acceptance of where you've let yourself got to. You did it. And it might not feel like it on an everyday basis because you're still looking at the past. You're not looking at where you actually are. Where you actually are is the fulfillment of what you've been asking for. That's where most of you is playing already. Does that resonate with you?
Yeah, so I remember learning this a long time ago, and I've sort of forgotten it, right? When you're looking at the present, what we consider the present, as I'm looking out of the room, I'm really looking at the past, right? I'm looking at a manifestation of a past vibration. I've always chosen to kind of do that in celebration. Like, I remember when this was only a dream, but it's also a good reminder when I'm looking at things that are causing discomfort, like, oh, that's because it's causing me discomfort because this is my past.
Anything that doesn't feel good isn't your truth.
Ah.
That's always good to know. So, what is on your minds, everyone? What do you want to know? And Carrie, you too. Is there anything else that we can illuminate for you?
I mean, there's always stuff you can illuminate for me. So I'm just going to repeat some of the things you said because I was taking notes as quickly as I possibly could. But you said we've all done an incredible job of allowing ourselves to ascend. And I got this feeling when you were talking about the ascension, you were saying it's been kind of a bumpy ride as you've been like moving through vibrations. And so I liked that recognition of like, oh, it has been a bumpy ride. And I have felt more discomfort for maybe shorter periods of time, but like, oh, and I have been faced with like all of those things that you said. I was really able to reflect on my year so far and like, oh yeah, all of that. I have felt that. But then you said play and fun and joy and abundance are calling. You said we're running out of excuses not to live in our truth. And that got me having some questions. So my questions are about not just me. Like for me, I know I'm aware of this. I live in this perspective. It is always helpful to go back to this. But I think you're talking about everyone on the planet, right? You're not just talking about those of us on the call.
Well, I do direct my words to you on the call, so yes.
Okay, so is everyone on the planet also ascending, or is it just us? Are these words just for us on the call?
So my words are for you on the call. That is who I am speaking to. And if I was just speaking to you, I would use different words. If I was speaking to everyone on the planet, I would use different words. So everyone on the planet, in a way, is descending. Descending. Do you see what I did there? It's perfectly normal for every single one of you to be on a different journey, right? You are all here for different reasons, basically. Not every one of you consciously wants to feel better, right? Some of you are bad guys, some of you are good guys. We don't believe in that, but that's the story that you make up. And so the world is ascending around them. That doesn't mean they're choosing to go with you. So yes, everyone on your planet is ascending. Everyone, to a degree, is here for this purpose, but you are here with free will, and not everyone is choosing to have an easy, fun journey.
Okay. Okay. So that makes a little more sense to me. I love that. And you guys, I'm talking to all of us on the call now. I love that we're choosing this, right? That we're deliberately, it is not always easy to choose ease, right? It's not always easy to choose fun and joy and playfulness and abundance. And so I think that's why I liked what you said about, because I guess what I'm saying is there's something enticing to me about this idea that my present is my past. So looking into my wallet and not seeing millions of dollars is like, oh, but that's my past. I don't need to look at that. I need to do what Rachel has been doing, right? And I'll let you describe how Rachel has been playing in her vortex.
Okay, yes. So for a while now, Rachel has been, it started really because Rachel's been watching more luxury shopping content on YouTube, which she's always been interested in fashion. And so she likes to watch the people who can afford to buy it, really. And of course, in a way, she could afford to buy it, but she's prioritizing different things right now. But she realized that she doesn't need to wait. She can play with it right now if it's, in her vortex. And so when she sees something she likes, she doesn't say, oh, maybe later, or not right now, or I could buy it, but it would cause me a little anxiety. She says, I'm going to go play with it right now, and she will go in her vortex and play with it. And so for her, that means usually stopping and just closing her eyes for a moment. And she doesn't really see things in her mind, but she can feel herself playing with something or putting something on. She can imagine how she feels with it in her life, and she imagines all the other scenarios that she would be using it in or playing with it in, and it feels very real to her. Very real, just like a child using their imagination to play. That's a very real game to them, right? There's rules, there's feeling, there's emotion, there's vibration, which is the most important part. Your mind doesn't know what's real and what's not real. Everything is energy, right? So if you can stop and say, oh, hey, I want that. Oh, and I can have that right now. Let me go engage with it. Then that will do you a world of good.
So I love that. So that's sort of my challenge to all of us here is like, oh, I've heard talk of spend time in your vortex, but like it hadn't had meaning to me the way that that has. And so that's what I'm talking about, this idea that things are landing more. Things are like concepts, things that seem like good ideas suddenly are, at least for me, going in a way that they haven't gone in the past. And so that feels encouraging. That feels like stuff's happening. That feels like, ooh, the path to what I've been asking for. I feel like I'm, well, we talked about this on our call. I would, Rachel and Intimate Alien and a couple of the other people on our Intimate Alien call this morning inside of our coaching group, we're talking about hiking and like getting to one peak and then seeing the next. So for me, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like if I'm on a run and I'm on a big uphill, and like you're always thinking like the top's just around the corner, the top's just around the corner. It's like recognizing, oh, I'm feeling that. Like I feel like I'm nearing the top. So similar sensation. Yeah, that feels really good. And I'm actually curious, guys who are watching. So I see Guillaume, I see Katerina, I see Karina. Oh, I haven't seen Karina in a while. And everybody else who's watching, let us know, please. Are these concepts landing in a new way for you? Do they feel like they're going in a different way? And then Intimate Alien, I'm hoping that you will talk about what I wrote down earlier today. You said everything you want is yours. Your higher self is already playing with it. You are your higher self, so start playing with it.
Yes. Everything you want is yours. Everything you want is yours. Everything you want is yours. How is that so? If you look around and you can't see it all, right? Well, we need to look at who you are a little differently in order to close this gap in your mind, in your feeling, and finally in your physical environment. So this is so fun for me. This is so fun for me because me knowing this is what allows me to come here with you, right? So we will use Rachel's trusty pyramid here. It's very cold. You think that your higher self is separate from you. You think source is separate from you. And you think the physical is its own standalone plane of existence, usually. Now, I know you are aware of the concepts that you are all one, but on a day-to-day basis, a lot of you identify separately. So, source is everything. Try to just breathe with me as I speak of this, okay? Just try to breathe and see what resonates, see what goes in. There's no pressure here, but we are going to be pretty firm in our speech. So, source is everything, right? Everything all at once. Everything is source. Source is one moment, everything contained. Everything that ever was, is, or will be in this one moment is source, right? Or God, if you say. Source. And now let's go back to you. You are expanding source. You, in this moment, are expanding because you are in the wild. You are on the front lines of the universe, wanting more, experiencing more, being more. And so you are expanding source. Source is everything, and you are expanding source. Don't let it make sense. It won't. It's okay. So, if you are on the front lines expanding source, and source is everything, so it's already been expanded, and it's already you are source. Okay? You are source. You are everything. So, everything that you want is already yours. And the middle part of you knows that, differentiates out what you want from source. Source is all it is, but your higher self is more closer to your physical personality being. It's just above that cutoff of time and space, but it's still pretty much you. It's pretty much differentiated you. Okay? So it's playing with all the things you want. It's created all the things you want. It's playing with all the things you want. That's what your vortex is. That's what your vortex is. So all the things you want already exist, are already being used and played with and loved and cherished and appreciated. So they're growing. They have momentum as well. They're growing. Haven't you noticed that your idea of your potential is growing too, if you really think deep down about it? Right? So you are source. You happen to also be physical right now, but source is physical too. So if you can imagine yourself as a singular being, I am source, I am my higher self, I am a physical being, and I already have what I want because I've helped to create what I want. And so there is absolutely no reason why I cannot start to play with what I want. If you can allow yourself to access a part of it, maybe it's just the feeling part. Maybe it's just the feeling. I want to feel freedom. Freedom is in my vortex, so I am going to choose to feel free. I'm going to choose to feel free. You can do that. You can. It doesn't matter what your circumstances are because you're source, you're the creator, you already have what you want, you can feel what you want. And then physical reality will catch up with you because it has to, because you are the creator. I'm just going to put down the crystal. See if you have any thoughts.
I'm actually in a moment of pause, simply to let the chat catch up with this. As you were talking, I was thinking about, you said, I'm going to speak to you boldly, or I'm going to use bold words. I'm thinking about our first conversations and like how different they were from this. So it feels good to be on the receiving end of bold words from Intimate Alien. And at least from my standpoint, yes, everything landed in a grounded, neutral way. So, yeah, I mean, that feels amazing. I'm super curious for the rest of you guys in the chat. Katarina says, marvelous. She loves the idea of playing with it within the vortex. Yeah, me too. I never, like, getting into the vortex always felt weird to me before. And suddenly, just even hearing how Rachel just closes her eyes, like, suddenly that makes sense to me. So that feels, before getting into the vortex always meant like, find the vibration of it, align with it. It felt like something scary and separate. And so now it does not. Now it feels like, oh, I'm thinking about if Rachel wanted to buy a coat, like, oh, let me just imagine that I'm wearing it.
Yes, yes. And then where would she go to dinner in that coat? And how would it feel? And people coming up to her saying, what a beautiful coat you have. It matches your eyes. Yes, yes, yes. All of it. It is like a daydream.
Yes, and it is, I might just be speaking from my own experience here, but daydreaming is something I love doing. I love dreaming. I love thinking about what's possible. But and somehow that idea of getting into the vortex though had like mystique to it. It had like it seemed like separate and harder than I was making it, or I was making it harder than it is. And so I'm encouraged by the idea of like, oh, that's it. Play with. So for me, when I think about what I'm wanting right now, there are several things, but they aren't so much like clothing that I can put on. They are things that I want to happen in the relatively near future. And so I can absolutely imagine what it would be like, what it would feel like. Wouldn't that be amazing if? How would I respond in that situation? Who would I run up to and hug? I can do that. I can imagine I'm thinking about my cross country team running really fast, and I can imagine being like so excited and seeing the times on the clock and knowing, like, having the feeling of like, oh, I knew it was possible, but I didn't know if it was possible, like all of that. And that's easy to feel my way into.
Yes, and it retrains you out of a lack place. When you look at something or when you have a thought about wanting something, instead of immediately saying, well, not now or later or save up or can't afford it, just remember, oh, but I have it right now. Let me just go. Let me have it right now. Let me have it right now. That's the point. Let me have it right now. Yes.
And I've heard Rachel and you talk about like, well, just let yourself have it. Just give it to yourself. Just
Yes.
that somehow it is landing differently right now. So I know it is Katerina saying it has always been a challenge to stay in alignment. So I hope that it's not just me that it's landing for. I know Intimate Alien, you can sort of feel into everybody who's, oh, it got me on, who's watching. Um we do have a question though, but do you have anything else to say before I move on to the question?
Yes, I just want to take a moment and I want everyone to just ask yourself, it's not even a question. I love myself to I love myself enough. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself and I can have what I want. I love myself and I have what I want. I have what I want, but will I pick it up? Will I remember that I have it? Will I play with it? I love myself and I have what I want. I have what I want. I have what I want. And now I sort of understand how to access it. And I love myself and I have what I want and I know how to have it. I know how to have it. I know how to have it. That's all. It's just keep going there. Keep reminding yourself. Keep doing it. It will become more natural as you practice. And I want to say about Rachel's garden. If you go to her Instagram, it's all she has posted for months now. Garden, garden, garden. Because this is one thing for her. Her life has been building a gigantic garden in her vortex. She has loved gardening from the time she was 2. She happens to be in the biggest garden she's ever had, but it's still very modest. It's very small. It looks gigantic because energetically it's gigantic. It feeds her every day. There's always something new to do and harvest and try out and experiment and dig up and deadhead and make bouquets with. And energetically, everyone feels that. Wow, what an amazing garden you have. That's a fairy garden. You must have a lot of energy friends there with you. What a marvelous garden. But it's really doable. It's really not that big. It's really not that difficult. It doesn't take that much time to upkeep. And so if you start right now where you are and you say, okay, well, I want the largest garden in the world and I have it, it's in my vortex, but now I can play with this. This piece of it is here physically. This piece showed up for me physically. What can I do with this? Well, you can do more than you think, because it will keep growing as your allowing grows. We are talking magic here. Magic. Carrie has had magic with her teams. This is what we've got. This is what we have to work with. You are all going to become champions, and then they do. So don't dismiss what you already have, because what you want, you have. Part of it might just be in the vortex, but part of it has a little foot planted in your life already. So go there and do the heck out of it. Do what you can with it, and it will keep growing and growing and growing out of your appreciation.
Okay. That was super helpful to me, specifically with like what I've got going on right now. So I hope it was helpful for you. Not you too, intimate alien, but everybody else who's watching. And that does sort of take us to Guillaume's question, because I feel like you've mostly answered it, but let's answer it specifically for Guillaume. So, hi, intimate alien. Have a list of desires I wish to manifest, and there are some I have wanted for a long time. How can I manifest the big desires, or am I blocked?
Okay, you have a list of desires, and there are some you have wanted for a long time. Everyone can relate to that, right? Just like Rachel and her garden. She's wanted that for a very long time. And how can you manifest them? The same way you manifest anything else is you need to match its vibration, and you need to be in an allowing place. So the only block we ever have is from looking at what we don't have. Let's paint a picture. Imagine this with me if you can. If you can't see things in your head like Rachel, maybe if you could draw it out on a piece of paper, that might help. Okay, so imagine that you're standing on a blank piece of land, right? Let's say it's a field of dirt, okay? A field of dirt. And you want something and you can't find it. Your desire hasn't become evident to you. And so you start digging a hole to find it. You think that the desire might be in the hole. So you're shoveling and shoveling and shoveling, and the hole is getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and you keep, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? You keep shoveling and shoveling and shoveling. And now you're in this hole. It's so deep that you're standing in the hole, and you look around you and all you see is darkness. Because where is it? 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 Right? It becomes sort of your mantra. It's what gets you up in the morning. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? And it's sort of your new groove. You're just Where is it? You are just there, right? It's your normal. It's you wake up every day. It's you're in darkness. You don't see it. It's where is it? And so little do you know that when you were standing in that field of dirt, if you sort of looked around before you started digging, you would have found a little piece of it over there in the dirt. You would have found nothing huge yet, but you would have found a little piece of it that you would have glanced down at and be like, oh, you're part of it. You feel all right. You feel all right. You feel pretty good. I can work with that. I can work with that. It's not the full thing yet, but you're on the track. You're there. But now that you're in the hole, you gotta get up out of the hole and look around and find the little piece. So the cool thing is, though, your multidimensional nature is 90, 90, 90, 90, 90, whatever that is, positive. This is all playing with what you want. And because time has passed for you, it's gotten bigger and the momentum's grown. And the more you look in that hole, the bigger what you want becomes. Because there's more momentum and more momentum and more momentum. So what you thought you wanted before that was big right now is ginormous. So there's more for you to go back to. You haven't wasted your time. You haven't wasted your time. You cannot make yourself wrong and make any progress. Okay? You are perfection right where you stand. And so why don't we get up out of the hole, put the shovel aside, and go find the little piece of joy that's waiting for you, or the piece of curiosity, or the piece of intrigue, or the piece of shiny thing that just makes you smile, or the piece of relief, or the little piece of freedom, whatever it is. It might be a little sentence, it might be a word, it might be a bead that's in the dirt. Anything that resonates. It's a inner smile kind of moment. It might be so subtle, though, if you're so used to being in the dark. So give yourself a break and start looking for what you want and find it. Find that little piece that's been waiting for you, and then hold on to it and focus on it. Don't go back into the hole saying, where is it? Where is it? Pick it up, hold it in your hands, and let that piece grow. That's your manifestation waiting for you.
Okay. So, Guillaume, I'm wondering if you felt that. I'm wondering if there's a glimmer of recognition of, oh, if I think about it, this thing in my life is feeling good. I'm going to keep my focus there. I know for me personally, it's easy to do a little bit of this. And I am also someone who can chant the where is it, right? I can chant that away. And so for me, it is getting better at the habit of holding on to the little pieces. I think many of us have a tendency to find the little piece and go, well, that's something, but it's not the whole thing yet. Like, well, that's great, but I asked for more, right? To immediately go to, but it's not it. And so I like this practice of finding little things, and like Abraham would say, milking it, right? Recognizing this is a step in the right direction. I remember when this was only a dream, or whatever the case may be, but getting ourselves into knowing the little pieces are evidence.
Yes, and the reason why they seem to start so small is because you are only allowing that much at a time. It doesn't need to be small, but if that's all you're allowing right now, then you better pick it up and allow more over time than just cast it aside and forget about it, right? Because you're not really going to forget about it. You're going to keep wondering where it is. So pick up the piece that you can and let it grow. Let it grow. Nurture it and let it grow. Just like Rachel's garden, it started out as a very tiny strip of grass on the side of a driveway, and now she has quite a bit more from that, right? Quite a bit more.
I'm thinking about Rachel's garden. Oh, goodness. And in my friendship journey with Rachel, from when it was very little and she was dreaming about owning land and homesteading, and I've heard her talk about her garden, but it wasn't until Instagram she started posting it that I saw the magnitude of it at her current place and was like, "Oh, look at that." But it didn't happen because she spent all those years in between with her sole focus on how do I grow my garden, right? On my garden's not here yet. How do I make a bigger one? How do I, right? Like, that's not what she was doing. She was happily living her life, moving from one focus to the other, knowing she may eventually have land. But in the meantime, she built a little garden, or a relatively big one. And that's cool to see.
And that's exactly it. So while you are not seeing something, right? It's natural to notice, oh, I am a nomad right now. I don't have a property, so I'm probably not going to have a garden. It's okay to know that, but then say, well, what's my highest excitement right now? For her, it was traveling the country and hiking in different places and enjoying nature in different ways. And she had a very, very visceral feeling one day driving down a highway that was lined with wildflowers. And she thought to herself, well, I don't need to scoop them up and bring them with me or have them in one place in my house. They're everywhere. This is a big garden we live in. I have what I want, right? So what you want will be delivered to you in different ways, in different circumstances, depending on where you are. So you're never without what you want. You're never, ever without what you want.
I'm letting that sink in. We are never without what we want.
You are source. You are everything. Yes.
All right. I'm letting that land, guys.
Yes. Yes. And practice that saying to yourself. Practice, I am source. I am everything. Make it feel like the most natural thing in the world that whenever you have a desire, it is manifested before you instantly. It's possible, but be okay with just knowing that you're source and to feel into it and let the manifestations come as a result of your vibrations, because that's how it will work.
So we let our vibrations do the work.
Yes.
Somehow, when you talked about us ascending at the beginning of call, somehow the bumpy ride to where we are, right? The uncomfortable moving through vibrations that we have done have made all the vibrations feel different from where I am. The vibration of what I want feels different, and I don't know if that okay, I remember when I was in high school and my high school physics teacher was teaching us about the states of matter, and was teaching us that, it's what you see as solid isn't really solid. And I'm like, really? Because if I throw it at your head, I'm pretty sure it's going to hurt. Um, but I had so much trouble with the idea of that. But I guess what I'm getting at is vibrations that I felt like I was having access to before feel more solid now. They have a different density. And I'm not sure that I'm using the right words to like, it seems like the vibration of joy is always the vibration of joy, but it's feeling differently in my body. And I feel like that is a result of that bumpy ride. It's like we're at a different altitude now, so things feel a little different. Does that make sense?
Yes. And we will just say it's not that a bumpy ride is required, it's just that you carry with you resistance in your that you've picked up, that you've held on to. And so as you're moving up, you need to let go of that resistance. And sometimes you feel it as it goes. So the density of the vibrations that you're wanting to feel, that are you're feeling, are just a result of more embodiment on your part, not because of the bumpy ride.
Ah, okay.
You are more embodied, therefore you are more able to feel the wholeness of those vibrations, and they don't end. You can ride that joy deepening thing forever.
Well, let's do that, people.
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it.
Amazing. Okay, well, I'm curious if you guys have any more questions for Intimate Alien. I feel like our calls, these Intimate Alien calls that we are doing, they are getting just better and deeper and more profound every week. So I'm hopeful that they're making that impact with all of you who are watching and listening and watching us on replay.
I want to give you a tip. Intimate Alien's top tip for a less bumpy ride, okay? With me now, ask your body to feel the harmony of universal energy. Body, show me what the harmony of universal energy feels like. That is a good way to calibrate to the higher vibration and to dislodge that resistance. We don't know if you felt anything, but it surely did something.
So that is important. I want to say that. So I actually did feel something, but that what you just said, I don't know if you felt anything, but it surely did something. That is something that, so on these calls, I get to spend the hour before this. I spend an hour before this with Intimate Alien, then I have a half hour break, and then I get to spend this hour with Intimate Alien. And I always, and sometimes when I'm in this role, when I'm in the role of sort of like co-presenter or sort of holding the space for the call, I'm not always as present like with myself as maybe I would be if it was just me and Intimate Alien sitting here. But it doesn't matter. Like whatever, even though I may not have like, I may have been thinking about what you guys want to ask or whatever, like it all goes in and I notice such a change for the rest of the day, for the rest of the week. Like I notice such a change. And so I guess I just want to say that, like, even if you're here, if you're just here, a change is happening. And that's really, really cool. And also, it is a reason to spend more time with Intimate Alien and to join us in our group. So, honestly, the group is amazing. But if all you got out of it was time with Intimate Alien, it would be so, so, so worth it. So go to intuitiveart.com/membership and join us because it's some seriously good stuff.
Well, thank you for that. I feel the same way about all of you. I love visiting you and I love speaking about all these things with you because really we're very not that different. We're not that different. You have access to these higher vibrations. You live in them part of the day. Consciously, you're there part of the day. You're doing great, great, great. And if I can just help remind you and make it a little more conscious, that's all I'm here to do for you, is you're calling me in for that reason. So I'm happy to deliver.
All right. Well, Guillermo says that your what you said was very reassuring. Everyone is thanking you lots. We have about 10 minutes left. Is there a message? Is there some I'm out of questions. I'm grateful for this new Ooh, I just got an analogy. I don't know if this helps anyone. But all of the vibrations that I had been feeling before, it was like if you asked me to put on the vibration of joy, it felt like maybe I was like lifting up a sheet and like putting the sheet on me, but then like tossing it off quickly. And now, if you say, Carrie, put on the vibration of joy, it's like a weighted blanket. Like it's the same vibration, but it has like a different feeling of it. I hope that's happening for the rest of you. Anyways, do you have a message for the end of our call today, Intimate Alien?
Oh, well, we want to make an announcement. Is that okay?
Yes.
We want to say that Rachel and I have created a brand new show for this YouTube channel, and it will be out in a few weeks, right? We are filming parts of it right now as a sort of pilot that we will show our close friends, and then we are ramping up. We have sets, we have costumes, we have themes. We are so excited. It will be a 5-day-a-week show for you to help you start your day in alignment, and we hope you will join us and share it and love it, and we are so excited about it. And also, I will be coming out with my book and oracle deck probably next year, early next year. And we are wanting to do some touring. So we aren't scheduling anything yet, but if you would want to put together a group of people in your town to have me visit you and do a little thing in person, we would be excited to start that idea for you. So you can let Rachel know if you would be interested in hosting, but just letting that out there, that we are planning big things for next year, and we would love to meet you in person if you would like to gather some people together for that.
Oh my goodness. I am so glad that I'm talking with you about this, because I've talked to Rachel about it a lot, and I'll say, what does an intimate alien think? And she's excited. But from the moment I met you, I was like, oh, that girl's a star. She wants a show. She wants it. And so it's been so fun watching the unfolding about this. But so I've been hearing it from Rachel's side of things. But I'm so curious, what are you most excited about with regard to everything that you just said? The show, the touring, the products?
Do you want to know?
Yes.
Fun! Fun! We are just so delighted that your planet is full of fun. Fun, 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 fun. It's all so fun. Yes.
Oh, that made me yawn. I'm so glad you announced the show. I know it has been in the works, and you guys have been playing with the ideas of it for quite some time. So I'm super, super excited to see when it finally comes out. I say finally because I've known about the idea of it for years and years. For everyone else, they're like, "Yay, a show! How exciting!" I'm so excited for it. I can't wait.
Thank you, Carrie. We are so excited. Thank you for being the perfect co-host here. We do have a show with you right now, right? So you are helping us to live in our fun. Oh, and for all of you, the message is What you want is yours. Let it be. Just let it be yours. Let it be yours. Find a way to experience it now. Whether that's the feeling of it or playing it in the vortex with it or finding the piece that's in physical already and nurturing that. Just let it be easy. Let it be there. Let yourself find it and feel it and play with it, because that's what you're here to do. You're here to experience that. You're here to be a creator.
Okay. I like what we've often heard is what you want wants you back. And so I like this, like, no, no, no. What you want is yours. Like it feels better. Feels so much better.
Great.
Thank you.
You are welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming and speaking with us and watching. And if you have any more comments, feel free to leave them. Join us in our coaching group if you want to spend more time with us and have more access. So we will see you where we see you. We love you so much and thank you for being here. Bye.
Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah. Rachel has to turn off the stream.